Hey adventurers, so today is going to be another book review. This is going to be for The Secret Garden by Francis Hodgson Burnett. So this is a classic of children's literature. This is, I think I would probably classify it somewhere in middle grade in terms of reading age. It's fiction, it's very cozy story. There's not a whole lot of other genres that I'm aware of it fitting into. I'm sure there are, but my brain doesn't know them off the top of my head, or when I was writing this at the very least. So The Secret Garden is a book that somehow I've never read or had read to me, at least that I can remember. It's a classic and it really seems like everyone knows it, but I didn't. I'm sure that I've watched the movie in the past. We have a VHS for it somewhere, and I think that I remember glimpses of images from the movie, and I don't remember anything about it other than that, though. It's likely I wouldn't have read it at all, or at least for a while, had I not recently seen Murphy Napier read and talk about this book. She did I don't know, she read it several months back, and then it was in my mind, and then I was listening to one of my favorite folk bands is Secret Garden. Obviously, the name of the band is similar to the Secret Garden title of the book, so that's part of it, but they also have a title on one of their albums called Song from a Secret Garden, and I really love that piece of music. And for a while there I was thinking, oh, this song was written for the movie or something like that. I don't think it was. I've done some more research since then, and I'm pretty sure that it wasn't written for that, but still, it's a very pretty song. And as I was reading the book before I did the research, and so I was thinking, yeah, this story really fits with that song. Like I can envision why that song would be part of the movie and stuff like that. Again, I've done research now and I don't think that it is. If I'm wrong, that's great. But let's continue on here. I love atmospheric books and I love classics, and this kind of came up right when I had nothing else to listen to in terms of my desire to read it peaking, right when I had nothing else to listen to. So I decided I'd try it and see what I thought, and it happened to be available when I wanted it to, so it's just kind of perfect. It worked out perfectly. Before I get into this rest of this review though, I'd just quickly like to say, if you're liking what you're seeing from an Erudite adventure, we'd really appreciate it if you'd like, comment, and subscribe. So it's very much written in the classic writing style, which I do enjoy, and I feel like it suited the story really well, that writing style. Obviously, when the writing style that you're using suits the story that you're telling, because the story comes from that time that writing style is from, and stuff like that. And it's kind of weird that I don't want to get into that very much, but the writing style did fit the story that was being told. It could absolutely be considered a boring or dry book. There's really no action at all, and there's very little of anything to do except sit around. This whole story is about these characters going out into the garden because they're just sitting around and there's absolutely nothing else to do. Some people really enjoy that. Some people really enjoy gardening, and that's great. I'm very happy for them. But it could still seem like a very boring story with not much action, very dry, very stuffy in many ways. But that's kind of the whole point of the story at the same time. All there is to do is wander around the gardens, but that's where the description comes in. So we sit there and we watch as the girl plays and becomes a gardener, and we see it explained in a good amount of detail. There's a lot of detail that goes into the writing of the story so that your mind is enraptured in the beauty of what you're seeing around you. Here's where I start to struggle though, not in what it is, not in what the story is, but rather what it isn't. I was expecting it to be even more atmospheric than it is. It is atmospheric, and you do feel like you're in the place, but I expected and wanted more from it. So I absolutely admit that that's a me problem and not a book problem, but it was a bit disappointing to me that it wasn't as atmospheric as I was hoping. Overall though, I thought it was a good book, and definitely a great children's book. And I had been thinking about it for a while, a good long while, before I finally got the chance to read it, so I'm glad that I finally did read it. And it's definitely one that my kids will read, stuff like that. It's one that I'll probably even revisit at some point in the future for myself, because it was an enjoyable book to read. Not my favorite book I've ever read, not one of the top books of the year, but I'm very glad to have read it now. Thank you guys for watching an Erudite adventure. We're posting lots of videos at the moment, so we will see you guys again soon. Stay warm.